Hello and welcome to the tutorial video of my self-assessment spreadsheet. So you find it here. If you click on one of these, it should take you to a Google Drive, Google Sheets, and you should be able to add it to yours, saying use template, and it'll come up with this. Some people might want to use for this current tax return coming up, you might want to use this one, but I mean, I've already started my one for 22-23, and I always update it as we go along. So I'll just bring up my demo. So the first thing, this page is the main page that I look at mainly. We've got all these categories with the different bands or settings, and so the first thing what we need to do is know how to change them. So we're going to highlight the C, the whole thing. We're going to format, we're going to conditional formatting, and you can see here all the names for everything there. So you say we want to change band 1 to rock band. So now that'll change because we've done that. If we change it here to rock band, that'll go red again. We can do a rock band down here. Gig, venue, 100 quid. It'll put it in there. I'll give it a date as well. 9th of the 5th. So you go through all of them. We can make one. I don't know. We can change that to flamenco noise band. And then when you put flamenco noise, it'll come up there. So that's first thing to do with that, and that applies with all of these where they've got categories. So here it's the same thing. You go into format, conditional formatting. On the PAYE one, it's the same. Anytime where you see those things. So you put your information in. You can get rid of any of these. You say if you don't need this contact thing, just get rid of it, delete it. You put in how much you are expecting, invoicing you can change, and then when you get paid, you just put it in. So it's 40 quid, then that'll change to a yes. Say we've got here on our payment due, so what's that, 45 quid for jam. Right, we're looking at their 45 quid. If I actually end up with getting paid 65 quid, I mean, that doesn't matter what that number is now, because this one is more important. So 65, and it will just be blank. There won't be a minus there or anything. So you can do that, and then if you haven't got anything there, not applicable, because sometimes we do things for free, amazingly. One thing to be wary of on this page is if you are adding a row at the bottom, for a gig, first of all, the border might happen like here, so you see it's gone up. You can highlight the row, go on your borders, clear the borders, make sure it's on the dotted line, and then put the bottom border, and that should reset it for you. As well as that, you've got to look at these totals. So H4 to H10, that means it's only calculating from there to there. And that's because that's how many I put in originally. So you've just got to keep up a little bit with that. These totals don't add up in your main overview, so they're just to see month by month what you're getting there. Also, to remove rows, you highlight this, right click, delete row. You can do it multiple rows as well. Delete row. So down here we can see before today it's grey, and after today it's white. When you put a thing in, that's just a little tiny thing. We'll move on to sections. So miscellaneous, this is for I use my teaching, this for my teaching on royalties and sort of random stuff that's not quite gig based. That makes total sense. It's just the same as the first page, really. Pay as you earn. So I've been doing a few little pay as you earn things. So I've got a few categories, not massaging. You can get into that if you'd like to, but you just put in how much you made on that. Well, say you got paid on this day, 21, 300 quid, you paid 20 quid in tax, tenner and NIs, and then pension, you put that in there, and then this will calculate for you, taking away that. And adding to there, and here, I'll put a pension one in there as well. Expenses, so this one's great. There's a few little bits which you just need to look out for. So this whole row should be set up with this formula, and that is just if you're driving, basically. So as soon as you put drive there, or if you put anything in this box, 13 or something, it'll calculate. Say if you want to say food, I don't know, Leon breakfast, and then you leave that one blank, and then you don't need to worry about this up here. You can put 4 quid or something. But if you went back and changed that to a drive, and then it was like drive to Asda for valve oil, and you put 3 miles, this wouldn't change. So you've got to get rid of that. And what we've got to do is we've got to find a one with the formula, right? And we want to click this little button and we want to drag it down. If there's no one with a formula where you can do that, because if you drag it over something that's already there, it'll lose that. What you can do is, copy the formula up here. Let's go down to this box, and then once you do that, it'll come up with, it'll copy it as if it's in row 13. Just make sure you change these to a 6, so that's lined up, and then that'll still be there. This little bit, so receipt location, whether that's an Uber, whether that's on an email, I'll put email or Zipcar or something. And then here I've got, this is where your receipts are found. So that's if I've got a physical, if I've got a paper receipt, and that's it securely in a box somewhere in my house. This is digital, so when it's securely in a folder on Google, on my computer, on my hard drive. And then the last one is whether it's in a Google Drive folder, so that if anything happens to my computer, it's on the cloud. So that's that bit. Hopefully that makes sense. This section, a lot of people might not need this. Basically, it's just to keep an eye on how much money. I've had a few things where I've been paid the whole band's fee and then had to pay it out, and just been a bit wary of where I am recording it all. So this is just a good way to record it like that. It's all manual. There's no blinks to any other things, so not everyone needs that. If you don't need it, right click here, you can just delete it. I'm going to say no. But yeah, and then the next one is the overview. So this one's kind of the greatest bit. It's got other things. If you change in Rock Band, where is it? We've got Rock Band up here. We're gonna have to change it manually in here, and then I'll bring up the Rock Band stuff. There we go. Projected. This is once you've been paid, how much you actually have. It brings up a gross, and it takes your expenses off to create a net, so what you're going to get taxed on. One thing on this overview page is this section here. So what this does is take everything from the miscellaneous that says education. So you can change that from education to whatever you need, and it should change it for you. And then this is everything on the miscellaneous that is not education. So this works for me because the teaching is quite a big part of it, and I'd like to split that up. This little bit calculates your pro rata salary, whatever you want to call it, income. But it's not particularly accurate, and it can change because people's work's often seasonal and stuff, and it sort of works out from the beginning of the tax year, does a calculation. But I find it quite handy. This is dead easy if you've got something, if you've got a workshop, say that's a workshop, 300 quid or whatever, that's a well-paid workshop. It'll come up there. Once you pay it, it'll come up there. If, say, you thought it was 300 but actually it was 200, it won't bring up 100 there. It'll just automatically think you've been paid for that. That's easy. You've got your pay as you earn stuff there. And basically, this is it. So at the moment, it's all on here. You can buy me a pint for it. That'd be amazing. I love doing this, like, a bit too much. So I'm happy to help anyone out with any problems or specific things with their work or. So yeah, good luck with it. Make sure you get your self-assessment in the next couple of weeks. Bye.